K-Vision TV.
Ladies and gentlemen, to the UJK Media Roundtable, or Umbrella for Journalists in Kasese Media Roundtable. My name is Ukash International. I'm the Media Roundtable host. Welcome, Jerome. I like your reaction. Welcome, everybody. And ladies and gentlemen, like we always do it on Friday, our rendezvous is Cafe Olimako, where we sit and dissect all the top stories making headlines throughout the week. And on our menu tonight is the rejuvenation of water channels in Kasese, especially in River Nyamwamba Bachum. Is it timely? That's what we want to discuss. And two, we want to discuss the inflating numbers of COVID cases in Uganda. Are they really authentic? I want to listen to opinions of these top reporters in Kasese. And lastly, we'll talk about, or we'll make sense of opening up of public transport. Does it really impact? Will it really peak? What do these guys think about the future of public transport, especially in the COVID-19, in this COVID pandemic season? Welcome to the show. Welcome once more. I'll give a minute of a preamble to these top journalists where they'll have a chance to introduce themselves and tell us a brief take. What did you like about the President's State of Nation address yesterday? And what did you think missed in just 60 seconds for all of us? I'll start with my extreme right with our senior. You're welcome to UJK Media Roundtable. In your preamble, kindly tip in just something small. What you got from the President's State of Nation address?
The State of the Nation's address, to me, what was good in it is that the President laid down the strategies where he can, as part of the economic recovery, things like scrapping off taxes to some category of people. He talked about electricity and water for people, but most importantly, also the landlords not to harass tenants for the next 3 months. To me, that was the good part of it.
But they shall pay.
Though they shall pay. Though they shall pay. That's what Jolie thinks. Madam, in your introduction and preamble, kindly tip in also what you think. Make sure you be a little bit audible.
Thank you so much, Ukash. My name is Jolie Bambu. I am a journalist and I'm happy to be here. From the President's speech yesterday, I had him talk of the issue of environment and the issue of swamps. He said the Cow Parish and Sub-County chiefs should take responsibilities, but I think it is something that can really work if really the law is forced. I've come to realize that nothing is impossible in Uganda, and curfew has taught me very, very many things. I never knew Ugandans can be in houses for 3 months, like the way it is being done. So I think that sometimes our president has to wake up also and make a very tight implementation.
Should I say Ugandans are cooperative or the army has done a very good work?
Even Ugandans,
you know, army is good at implementing, on putting the army on implementing curfew.
So when it comes to environment now, you remember the other time we said even the district officials could be one of the people who were affected during the. So it means that now the district technical office and some sub-county officials have been challenged to take a very good responsibility in curbing the issues of environmental degradation, but they should also be an example as well.
Thank you so much, Jolie. Let's listen to the big man on my left.
Yes.
And a mask.
The reason I'm putting on a mask is one. It's a mask, yeah?
Sure.
Big one. We are advocating for local innovators. You get it? Government promised that on the 4th June, we are going to get this.
So you need your mask.
So I'm looking at, they have not reached in Kasese. So why can't I help people who are coming up with this kind of stuff? Anyway, go try on now. Morning, my name is Vicky.
So your point is they were supposed to even involve the local innovators.
Yes, let people who are coming up with this innovation be paid so that they can increase on the economy, on the earnings. But
so say every sub-county, please let's get a supplier. It's sub-county.
You know the number of women who never completed schools and even men who are into this kind of venture.
Okay, what caught your attention in the presidential address?
Actually, it is point 5. out of the 10 that he mentioned, though there were 3 which he emphasized that they are more crucial. But point 5, he talked about the economy, and this one I want to read it the way it is. It was it is something that caught my mind. Building an independent, integrated, and self-sustaining national economy. He went ahead saying, Kilembe, if it is revived, now we're going to have transformers made from Kasese. I'm imagining the creation of jobs if this is going to be a reality. And
I'm cutting you short because you're out of time. I'll head to Mr. Jerome Coolbits. Yes. I like that. Yeah. What caught your attention?
Let me tell you. Well, my name is Jerome Coolbits. I was looking at yesterday's State of the Nation address, and I remembered that Dr. Peter Jimwesige of the African Center for Media Excellence around 1998, I think 2000 if I remember quite clearly, was somehow started his journey of exiting from the New Vision after he had written a story that the President's State of the Nation address that year was more of the same. This year has been a little different, a little unique in matter and substance because of COVID-19. So that difference, I think, also needs not to just pass like that. But away from that, all this is now a notice to my landlord that after listening to the President's State of the Nation address, now I can sleep comfortably. I don't expect my boss. I know sometimes he's a tech survey guy. I don't expect him to come to my
at the end of the day you'll pay.
At the beginning, okay, we shall discuss the payment.
At the end of the day you'll pay. Welcome to the UJK Media Roundtable. We are shooting live from Cafe Olimako, the only place where you can find a very, very beautiful coffee in this such kind of fancy, of course, utensils.
Best coffee in Western Uganda, I've always said.
Jerome insists it's the best in Western Uganda. You can get lots of snacks ranging from fried chicken, pizzas, fried fish, and many, many more. You want all kinds of foods, whether local and international foods, are found here at Cafe Olimako. To start with, this is why I want to bring in Mr. Ali at the beginning. You're going to open up this rejuvenation of water channel boundaries. I was in the field last week and I met lots of houses ranging from Chisanga, Chizungu, rather Chisanga, I like calling Chizungu. I went Kamulikwizi after Delta. There were a lot of marks, and marks indicate some houses will actually be demolished, and some of whom halfway houses will be affected, or they'll be demolished halfway. Demolishing and implementing such kind of a law. Halfway. You find the meters, according to the calculation where they want, it will take half of the house. So they'll go through the house in terms of demolishing. They'll not remove the whole house, but they'll remove the ones recommended by the Environment Act. Mr. Ali, do you think this is timely? And this is a good idea? Because people, it's a harbor for people now, because they have houses there.
You well know that floods have become a menace to the people of Kasese, especially. So one of the ways to combat or to minimize the damage done by floods was to open up that water channel. But the recent information I have, actually the latest information, is that somehow, somewhere, the process has been halted because a group of people have written a petition. Though I have not accessed that petition, but people have written a petition. They want some issues to be sorted out. So it was supposed to have begun on Wednesday this week, but because of that petition, they have somehow postponed it until some issues are clarified. But away from that, Mr. Okasha, there are very many things here we have that come into question. Because this one, why do you wait for 20 years? Because the first survey was done in 2002. When Lungo was by then it was the town council.
Yeah, chairperson LC3.
And Lungo was chairperson LC3. Now, why do you wait for 20 years down the road.
And actually, there were signposts and poles indicating this is a water channel and what. I think I can trace one from Kasese Muslim Fence Secondary School. There's a post there indicating water channel.
Yes.
And in the whole vacuum, I think many of them were vandalized, except that one still exists.
Yes, but also there are people, technical people at the municipality who are paid to do their job. We have a physical planner, we have a full-fledged development office, and even we have the town clerk. Now, these people at the end of the day, even a surveyor, at the end of the month, they get paychecks. So it means somehow, somewhere, the fact that these people managed to constructing the water channels and spent all that time. So it means somehow, somewhere, somebody slept on his job. So that's why these people, actually a smart guy can go to court and say, why did you leave me to spend all this time? I have put my structure worth 30-40 million, then you come to demolish it. So to me, I think it is a good idea, but also these people need to be compensated. Because somehow, somewhere, somebody slept.
So it's a good idea at the wrong time.
But also, I happened to attend the parliamentary committee. There are two committees that came here last weekend. The Committee on Presidential Affairs and the Committee on Climate Change of Parliament. But one of the recommendations was that there should be a study, satellite-guided study of the geological and hydrological setup in the mountains to study why do these floods occur after a certain interval and why do these floods occur, rivers burst their banks at the same time. So it is very useless to make interventions downstream when we've not solved these problems up there.
So that was my appeal, I think, on the media roundtable. Which one? Could be, but
So
my appeal, me and Jolie.
So finally, to answer your question, is it timely or not? To me, I think it is too early. Let us first make those comprehensive studies before we embark on these small water channels.
Don't you think they are late because they have let constructions move on? Well, I'll bring you back. Jerome,
Yes, please.
don't you think they are late to implement such kind of directive? Because letting people make constructions, settle there, have children and grandchildren there, that really means that's our home. To some, it's an ancestral home at the moment that harbors grandfathers, fathers and mothers and grandchildren.
It's been long overdue.
Sure.
It's been long overdue. Like Mr. Mr. Kusemereno did indicate that the first survey was conducted in 2002 and it is now 18 years down the road. So what happened at the time? Because whatever happens, there is need for us to pick lessons from it. And for every cloud, there's always a silver lining. The arguments that have been made at national level that the COVID-19 pandemic should have been used, the floods that we have experienced in Kasese should also be used to help us rethink our drainage system. For any meaningful leadership of a town that is looking at posterity, that is looking at a better town, 150 years, should be in position to first think of a drainage system before anything else. So, is it timely? No, it is not even timely. It is long overdue. But now that we are experiencing floods and we are seeing that there is a problem, can we use this as an opportunity to do what? To put in place a better drainage system. For example, we need this kind of single line drainage system where when you have a water line passing through your place, then there's also kind of a sewer. That's why we even have a national water and sewerage corporation. All of them, they should be in position to work hand in hand. But your issue, I have seen the petition. There are 33 people who are petitioning the office of the town clerk. They are claiming that the original boundaries have been the original lines and boundaries that had been developed for or certain place for a channel have been left with the new surveys and being carried out by the physical planner or the physical planning unit at the town council, and they are questioning why those particular boundaries are being left out, and then they are getting new plots being affected. I want to think that the fact that...
So the context of the claim is that they want to all either be victims or all survive. So what it means, this thing is spotting some and some are being left.
I think the context of that is that already there was an original plan. And there is an attempt, because you call it rejuvenation, there is an attempt today to put in place a drainage channel. So the people or the complainants or the petitioners are asking the basis or premises upon which the initial plan is being left to adopt a new one. What is the argument? That it is possible that some people who could have constructed in a channel, well knowing it was a water channel, could have connived with some people in the office to let it leave their plots of land and then grab other people's plots of land. But I think again
So their prayer is
that it should stick to the original plan. But I think still there is a question in there, because my brother talked about compensation. But I think before you ask for compensation, you should also be in position to prove to us that the physical planning unit approved your structural development there. Because this system of us heaping blame on government officials alone, when we are failing to take on our own responsibility as a journalist, I want to think that yes, there is a weakness within the physical planning unit.
Blame. That's why I want to take over from you. Can we play a blame game?
There's a weakness within the physical planning unit that fails to supervise and ensure that people don't construct. But also there is a weakness on the citizens, on us the residents, because we like putting up and patching up houses before we get clearance from the physical planning or the physical planners of the town.
Okay, thank you so much. Can we play a game?
It's like we are getting back.
Who is to blame in this instance? Are they the officials or the people who come to encroach land?
I was born not a complainant, and actually I don't like blaming.
If we play a blame game, in case.
Mine is a simple request that the physical planning for the Kasese municipality should take up their seats. Why do I want to say this? Let us even move away from these recent floods. We have these waters that always come from Nyakabing. They always hit Kasese. I mean Kasese municipality. Like
especially
they pass through the whole town and they end in Chidodo. That one has not been actually a point this year, but I'm sure it shall happen again. And it is always happening. Okash, I want to point on a thing on you. Look at where you stay right now. There's a drainage channel. Kasese municipality made it. But their houses built on that real channel, like not even a side, but so
those ones on the channel were demolished, and most of them you are either behind the channel or you are in front of the channel, and it's not a channel. It's in this instance, it's just a trench.
Do you know the capacity of water it holds?
Yeah, of course, it holds a lot of water. Yeah. So, but council did something, and all the houses on top were demolished. So it is either you are behind it or you are in front of it. But people are not
safe there. You cash. Never sleep and think you will sleep up to morning.
Right,
whenever it rains, make sure you get out and see whether it is really whether you're really safe.
Ukash is one of the
victims. One of them. Yes.
No, I'm not. Actually, where I stay, I think my land is surveyed. We have a title. We're in the right place. We are not. we are not there by Manyak. So BKK, I know you are so anxious to speak about this issue, but time has left us. Unfortunately, we need to get to our next issue on our menu, and this next issue is about the inflating numbers of COVID-19. As numbers are rapidly going up, and as they are going up, the president in his address about the COVID-19 thing 3 days ago, he said he's not afraid of the inflating numbers. He's not afraid, so he's ready to ease in the lockdown. Logically, it didn't beat people's minds, because some people thought when we had a 3 to 4, we had a lockdown, and now we are in hundreds, we're easing the lockdown. It was not logical. Bikeke Simon, are these inflating numbers authentic?
One thing that I want to tell Ugandans is that COVID-19 is real. We should not take it for granted. We should not try to, play with it. This is serious. It is claiming people's lives. But when you see top Ugandan officials being arrested in this scandal, know that there is something they're hiding. The Voice of America, Apple, by a story that was written by Halima, it indicated some of these officials that were arrested in the scandal of purchasing items related to COVID-19. And this, to my surprise, they are government officials. Imagine the permanent secretary, Christine Gawatude Kintu, one of the people who are supposed to guide the government and the economy, was among the people who are inflating this kind of stuff. The accounting officer, you see, someone that is supposed to look at the money and say, we are spending a lot. Mr. Wanchala, this is Joel Wanchala. The Assistant Procurement Commissioner, Fred Lutimba.
One who's responsible for purchases.
Yes, and Martin Awol, head of COVID-19 relief management. They were arrested. Why? The president is he is trying to communicate to the world that I think these cases are there, but also there are people within playing some games.
So they are being exaggerated.
Exaggerated. Though may not confirm it that way, I think the Minister of Health, that is Dr. Ruth Acham, need to clarify on the numbers. Though we are not supposed to take it for granted. Today I heard that even doctors are being, are contracting the same.
Okay, I've been affected also.
Yes.
I'm going to bring you back on that instance. Jerome, is COVID-19 a project to some?
It is a project.
There is a way you threw a very leading question to Simon, and I think he didn't bring himself out of the leading question, because you said, are these inflating numbers authentic? But in the first place, who says the numbers are being inflated? When you say inflating, you say the numbers are being exaggerated. You and I are not in position to really confirm or we are
your analysis.
We are said to be standing at 500.
Confirmation, you leave it a hanging question to the viewer.
As of now,
but give me your analysis.
As of now, we are said to be at 522, including health workers. What, however, remains true is that there is a number of Ugandans who have developed sentiments that perhaps away from fighting the disease, there could be people who are making business.
That is normal.
And these sentiments, of course,
normal.
After a long period of time of a lockdown, it can only be understandable that people begin agitating for easing of the lockdown. Because, come on, there have been questions that, although the president insists that it is suicidal to stop truck drivers that are bringing in cargo, but there are people who are saying, but we've closed our very own businesses. Why can't we tentatively, for a specific period of time, first say, maybe, okay, we know it is a suicidal, but for purposes of saving our lives, why don't we first put a halt onto this? So there are people who have perhaps started thinking that there could be people who are making a killing out of the pandemic. But I think in the management of the disease, there could be some gains, but I also think that there is a way it could have been handled better.
There could be some gains. But Mr. Ali, I want you to build on Jerome's point. There could be some gains. Do you believe some people are gaining from the COVID-19?
Yes,
and hence it is attached to the inflating numbers?
Yes, Mr. Okash, those people who have that kind of thought, I might agree with them. Because in Uganda, it's as if it is a habit that every misfortune that comes, there are some people who look at it as either a deal or an avenue of accumulating money.
So even the floods, even the landslides in Bududa,
every disaster in Uganda,
even in Kasese.
yes, there are some people who benefit.
Yes.
The issues of inflating figures and inflating prices is not the first time. Mr. Bikeke has quoted the Prime Minister, in the office of the Prime Minister,
yes,
the food service. People inflated the food prices. But also, you remember the money that came from Gavi. Gavi is a global alliance on vaccination and immunization. That money was squandered. But ordinarily, that money was intended to help in immunization and vaccination of young kids. We lost a lot of kids. But because somebody put his interests ahead of public interest, now look at the global fund. It has been on record that Ugandan roads, 1 kilometer of tarmac, is inflated 5 times than the money is used in a road in Ethiopia or Kenya. Even our dams here, the cost of the Karuma Dam or Simba, Ethiopia, they have constructed the same dams, but at a less cheaper. So there could be some truth that it is true. It is not the first time. You see, there's what they call precedents. So since people have been inflating prices in some previous projects, so somebody may not be wrong now to say also in COVID, people are making a killing. But also, yes, Mr. Jerome hinted on the issue of easing the lockdown, despite the raising cases. But I think the president was under pressure. We Ugandans, we've been locked down for a month or so. But these people who bring in COVID are known. They are truck drivers. The president has put up a spirited defense and the importance of those truck.
What is exerting pressure? Is it the economy pressure?
No, the public. The public are saying no. For us, we cannot lock down our businesses. And yet, those truck drivers,
I have a feeling if I chip in, I think even the economic pressure, because people have not been working for 3 months, 3 full months, Mr. Ali. You get the point? People no longer have the capacity to buy food, good food. They eat to live, anything they can have. Are we together? You remember a saga of a woman in Kampala who brought watermelon for sale and he didn't get any buyer, and he decided to abandon the watermelon because no wonder he puts in transport to take it back to his store or home. Watermelons don't last long, so she decided to abandon them. Matoke now is at 2,000. Why? Because it is there in plenty and there are no buyers.
Yes, but also, Mr. Okasha.
So I think it's partly it's economic pressure.
Yes, but also COVID has exposed gaps in government. The other day, Besji gave a state of
the people address.
Actually an equivalent of the state of the nation. But one of the things he proposed, he said that the government should give 100,000 each family hold for the next 3 months.
Even if it was the one.
You see, on this table I usually host you. I don't make a point most times. Now, can I make a point also? Let me look into the camera for this.
That is the question.
Look, I also believe
but where
in
would
cash.
we get that money?
Jolly,
Even if he was the
let
one.
me also make a point. I believe in giving people cash.
Like how much?
Don't give people ugali na maragi. At least say 200, 300 or $1 million per homestead. Give them money, let them go and make purchases to stimulate our economy.
Let me tell you.
3 months we are not working. People don't have money to buy food in the market.
Ukash, we
get the point?
We are not really rejecting what you are saying.
Sure.
But I want to tell you that you can go in the market and spend your 50 in your kavera. Kanwa kavera.
These days people no longer go there.
They no longer go there.
They no longer go to markets. There are few. They don't
do you
have
think
cash.
we are surviving on the relief food they are giving?
And Simon, to make a point, I'm talking about stimulating our economy.
Yes, but
if you want to stimulate our economy, we need to put cash into circulation.
The 300 you're talking about.
And cash into circulation is not bringing posho and beans. Posho and beans of which majority was imported by the one by the contractor.
We have talked about.
So our simple money we are getting here in Uganda, we are taking it externally. So I want us to have money, and Jole goes to the market. Jole have 100, go and buy a t-shirt, go and buy food, go and buy coffee at Cafe Olimako.
We have talked about people who are putting up, who are coming, behind this COVID-19, using it as an opportunity to get money. Yes, if they give you money and now they stop supplying for you beans and cassava flour,
that is for purposes of stimulating our economy.
Do you know people who are behind that are going to own these kind of stores? Don't you think they can even hike the prices?
I think Mr. Vikeke needs to be told one thing. That one, the prices of posho or the prices of kaunga at which government purchases are far higher
than what
the
we can
prices
purchase.
that we
purchase
at local level. So
market prices.
Yes, at market prices. So what ordinarily, for example, would be bought at 20,000 by you could cost government 40 or 30,000 or even 25
100.
or even 25. No, let me put on a lower end, or even 25,000. So an extra 5,000 is a lot of money, especially when you are
You also agree with
especially
it.
when we are in a
Yeah,
crisis.
we
But
cash.
let me
You are
just
given
let,
money,
let,
you can
me,
be
let,
able
me
to
just, let me
survive.
just throw in one thing. Some people seemingly argue that, like my friend Jole, that it is impossible to give to people
Cash.
or households cash. I want to tell you that in organized systems, in organized governments that have had relative stability, it is a possibility.
My
It is a possibility.
argument
Thank you so
was-
much, Jerome.
Let me
We are
make
getting to
a
another
very
thing.
quick example. Just yesterday, German Chancellor Angela Merkel indicated that the government would release 130 billion euros for that particular purpose, and each family head, not a head, each child within a household.
That is a head.
Yeah, each head within a household would be entitled to 300 euros. I tried to compute that, and it became 1.26
Per
million.
head.
Yes,
Per
per
head.
head.
Then for
1.26
you-
million Ugandans.
US has done it twice. UK has done it more often.
Even Canada.
Even Kenya is in the process of doing it. Canada has done it. Give people money, let people make purchases so that we can stimulate our economy. Jolly, I want to sum it up with you. What are the possible recommendations to
Thank
the
you.
government so that we can see how we do away with this thing of making disasters or misfortunes an opportunity to some?
Thank you so much, Ukash. I had first said that challenges are also opportunities. You look at the way Bukeke is wearing right now, he has a mask. Who made it? Didn't you pay for it?
I paid,
Has this person earned something?
of course.
Isn't that an opportunity?
Sure.
Right.
But that one is a legal one.
I'm coming.
It is a legal one.
Now.
When the government is failing to
It is
bring-
legal opportunity.
I'm
There's
coming.
illegal ones.
I know.
Let's get back to people who want to earn, but at the same time infringing on the rights of the local people. People who want to earn by hiking prices. I remember His Excellency, the President of Uganda, making a statement that it's suicidal to put a bag of salt at 2,000, yet in actual sense the price is still the same. I think that is this is what we need to note.
Sure.
Very, very well.
Recommendations
so,
now.
I want to talk this looking straight to the camera. If you know that you are a government official and you're actually leading to the infringement of the rights of people through hiking prices of services and actually the items we are supposed to use in COVID-19 and in these issues of floods, then
You are a devil.
no. I can't say you are. No. That is a suicidal act.
It is suicidal.
That is what I can actually
But
say.
you didn't go straight. You said inflating government prices. You didn't go at this.
Then you said
You
you
didn't go
are-
to these ones inflating the numbers of cases
Yes.
for benefits.
I'm
Though-
not so sure on the numbers.
though
That's why
this,
I've not
this-
marked.
yeah, this,
I've
this
not
it will be a
mentioned.
continuation
Yes.
up to next time.
Right.
Though we need to make sense briefly about the opening up of public transport and see its benefits and impact on the economy. To its sustainability. Will it be sustainable? Is it impacting, and will it peak, or has it peaked already? I want to listen from Mr. Ali first on this, and then Jerome will sum it up.
Yes, Mr. Okash, it's good news because for people who had been locked up for,
How is it so far?
so far,
He has not
the
even
challenge is that
expressed.
these people are many and the vehicles are few. If you looked at the pictures in Kampala yesterday, people were fighting for taxis. So as a result, these taxis people, they took advantage to hike prices. And remember, Ugandans have not been working for the last 3 months. But also, as part of the government intervention, as serious governments, one thing this COVID has done has exposed our government. For example, we don't have fuel reserves. Now, government would have come in, one, either subsidized the fuel, so that now fuel can be bought, petrol can be at a cheaper price. So as a result, the prices of transport will be low. But also, in the world market as we speak now, oil is at its lowest price in recent history. Because by yesterday, a barrel was selling at $25. That is less than 50,000 Ugandan money. So it means now government should translate the drop of oil prices at the world market to the pump prices here, such that if somebody goes at gas or fuel or BAM, he can buy a liter 2,000. I think if that one is done, then the transport costs will remain. But that one not done, it means prices of transport will continue being high, and it is the consumer who will suffer the
mathematically, these guys are taking halfway, isn't it? So they are trying to fill the gaps so that they can meet the expenses of fuel, water, and servicing their cars.
What Mr. Semelero is saying is that if, for example, there has been a reduction in the prices of fuel, somehow that extra charge that goes through would be compensated within the subsidy that would have been made within the reduction of fuel prices. But I did indicate last week that I think one of the big stories for this week would be the resumption of public means of transport. And sure, I know that many of you have TV, I don't have one. But those of you that have TV, you've seen how it was a menace, especially around the city center.
How did you see it?
But again,
Jole says, how did you see it?
For
maybe at the neighbor's place.
Who come from an area like mine. Okay, before I even talk about mine, I think now we are a border district, so we've not been in position to experience that. But you saw how there's so many buses that had been parked at Link bus terminal were moved from Link, and they're now camped at Rimi, Nyamwamba district. So somehow, I want to think that we cannot afford to move inter-district. I want to think that I think the best way would have been that we are also allowed intra-district movement. So that yes, we are a border district, we could be having a lot of our so many problems, but we also need to start working. So because we need to start working, they should have allowed public means within our district. Yes,
not beyond the district.
Yes, since we are border districts, we are higher risk, but we also need to survive.
I like that.
So I want to think that this is something that the president and his people need to think about or need to rethink. Because now look, for a place like where I come from in Kasese, in Uganda, Chinatown Council, even when they eventually perhaps open up border, I mean eventually open up public like taxis, public service vehicles, taxis. But for some of our places, borders are even the only means of
areas of
transport.
Yeah, mountainous areas in Kasese. That's understandable.
So just like Magufuli of Tanzania, the president, I think that at some point we should think of the long term. The long-term reality could be that
Jerome is advocating for Magufulization of Uganda.
No, we may need to
that is his point.
Really
I'm afraid I have to cut you short because of time.
Putting up
no
the
time.
issue of the long term.
2 seconds, John.
Okay, 2 seconds. They are over even. But the long term should also be so much in our health department. Let our hospitals and health centers be able to combat this.
Yeah, well, that lesson is learned by government officials, because many of the ministers have not been going abroad for treatment, so they have been depending on the one we depend on too. And
we thank God he's keeping them safe.
Sure. So they need to do so much investment. I don't have time. Though I would have loved to listen to what Jerome would have said about it. Mr. Ali, like our last segment of the week, what we always do is say our worst moment of the week and what we assume will make headlines next week. This time I want you to be very, very precise because we're out of time.
Yes, my best moment of the week was the
worst
moment of the week was still, our people are still languishing in as displaced people, Kasese Primary, Kanyangeya. But the best of the week, I think it was the State of the Nation address by the head of the state, because it touched pertinent economic recovery issues, such as rent and...
What do you think will make headline next week?
I think what will make headlines next week, I think we shall continue seeing COVID dominating most of the stories next week.
Jolie.
Thank you, Ukash. I don't know whether I call it the worst moment, but I had time to visit some.
I saw your pics all over
yeah,
social media.
some camps. That's how I do it.
Sure.
And
what were you supplying? I saw something
the
like
children there.
sanitary?
They were sanitary pads.
Okay.
Yeah.
Reusable?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
The children there and girls are not in good conditions, and I think my next story will be men vis-a-vis girls. Like, how safe are the girls in camps? The fact that they are with direct perpetrators in these camps, how are they actually being looked at? And then that will be my story.
Okay.
Thank you.
Jolie being a journalist and a civil society,
What?
Advocate.
worst and best.
Well, like I said, the worst has been said by my colleagues on the table.
Your own.
Okay, my own.
Yes.
Well, I'm looking at the increasing cases of COVID-19, which is the worst. It is worrying the economy. But also, allow me to say, I picked good statement from the RDC when you had an interview with him. Indeed, he pointed out some areas of concern, saying he's not the one in charge of the store. It puts us back, I think, for these people and know exactly what they're doing. Today, we are celebrating we are commemorating World Environmental Day. I'm encouraging people around the river Nyamwamba to plant more reeds, you see, and those in wetlands to leave them because these are sponges of water. They hold water to good quality. If you continue, mismanaging them, now we are continuing calling floods to come in Kasese town.
Okay, Jerome.
True, but I have visited the camps across the district. I think I've been almost to every camp for the victims of floods. I want to think that it's high time authorities, both local and central, started to think of a long-term plan on how those people can be resettled. Honestly, it is not sustainable for us to keep having them in schools. I want to think it even endangers them more.
What do you think will make headlines next week as we sum it up all?
I am not so sure, but I want to think that COVID is still here,
Sure.
and we still continue to run the governance.
Just like Ali,
and
just
the
like
economy around COVID.
just
Let-
like
let
our
me-
senior
let me
Ali,
push-
Jerome thinks.
I want to give him a headline
Lady
for
J,
next
Lady
week
J, I'm the
because he's
host.
not
You are
sure.
done proposing for him.
Yes.
Anyway,
Please,
Can I propose you?
please do.
There's this issue of resettlement of people in camps. You follow that story. It is a very good
I've already said that.
Oh, no,
Okay,
no, no,
okay.
no, no.
Like Ali, Jerome thinks COVID-19 will dominate
you didn't show
headlines
it
next
as-
week. That is what it takes to host journalists on a table sometimes when they have crossfire.
From what I've submitted.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's been the UJK Media Roundtable.
You just visited,
BKK, you
yeah.
talked about my interview, the RDC.
Yes.
Lady and gentlemen,
The issue of resettlement to
RDC
cash.
said MPs have not even brought back the 20 million they were asked to
No,
bring back
that is not his duty.
just for that.
to the district task force.
said
He
it.
said.
Say to the cow.
They said, not necessarily the cow.
Kapsabe, Atkins, and your colleagues, you are my friends. I think it's better if you give 1 million to this media round table members or panelists. It shall be a good idea. Thanks for being part of the show. It has been a very fiery here. We're live from Cafe Olimako. Come here for a better experience. Make sure you subscribe, smash a like on our video, and then so that you can never miss any of our uploads. My name is Ukash International on behalf of the team, and I'm the host. Keep it K Vision TV.